Watch your stepping. You'll want to find another place to rest your feet, stranger. These stitches are about to burst. It won't be much longer before the whole place unravels, as it were. There's a new Khajiit in charge, Kazda, and he enjoys throwing his weight around. Between this one and you, most in the stitches find Kazda's leadership lacking, but none will stand up to him, though this one heard rumors Tasnasi is back. No friend of Kazda's, this one can tell you. She's recruiting for a job, or so the rumors say. This one doubts she'll have much luck convincing someone local to make an enemy of Kazda, but someone passing through. Last I heard, Tasnasi was camped on the north rim of the scar, but this one doubts she'll stick around for long. The moment Kazda catches wind of her, he'll have her throat slit. It's the closest thing to a settlement out here. Imagine a river hold on the edge of a cliff, painted with rum and horse dung. Then invite every outlaw, bandit, and exile to live there. That's the stitches. You didn't hear this from me, but he's a thug who thinks he's a king. Sits in Merville Keep, counting coin and letting his thugs run the stitches into the ground. Well, deeper into the ground. A thief who got run out of town not long after Kazda took over. He's the only one worth robbing in the stitches, so my gold's on her job involving his ill-gotten gains. Gutsy to cross Kazda, but he already wants her dead. What she got to lose?
Tasnazi does not know you. That's good. She knows everyone in the stitches. Those who aren't in Kazda's pocket, she can count on one paw. This one has a job for someone who'd rather pick it. An unknown face like yours is just what she needs. Kazda, the dung-eater that runs the stitches, has a hoard of gold beneath Merville Keep. Tasnazi plans to make it hers. Ours. If you're interested, we need to move soon. The stitches gets worse by the day. Kazda may leave, and his coin with him. To take from Kazda is no crime. His predecessor, Dashing the Salzo, amassed the coin. Kazda only wallows in it, like a pig in its filth. A cruel, stupid pig. Now he lets the stitches shuffle to ruin. This is his just punishment. We also need Tasnazi's old crew, Vol, Sarin, and Nazdar. Vol just did a job for Jubani. He'll be at her junk shop. Sarin's likely at the Goiter's Gulp, and Nazdar caterwauling somewhere. We'll meet in the bowl at the bottom of the scar. Who do you want to know about? Best damn mechanist this side of Nibbin Bay. Not a common trait for a wood elf, this one knows, but it is true. Kazda's stronghold uses strange mechanisms to keep uninvited visitors out. Voles are passed through them. Maybe not the most distinguished mage in ELSWEYR, but the best Tasnazi is likely to get in the stitches. She spends more time with her head in a bottle than a book. But once she's dried out, she'll be invaluable for reaching the vaults unnoticed. The old adept was something back in his day. Tasnazi heard he could break a boulder with his little claw. He doesn't fight much anymore, but he still has some moves. This one has seen them personally. He flows like water and is as silent as wind. Keep it quick. There's a lot to be done before we relieve Kazda of his riches. The lowest. Kazda clawed his way to the top of the Stitches with treachery and fear. The Stitches hasn't known law, but under dashing the Salzo, it knew relative peace, common purpose. Now it falls into anarchy. Kazda won't stop it, he creates it. The leader of the Stitches, before Kazda, he's dead and gone. All you need to know is, what was his is now Kazda's, soon to be ours. A den of outlaws in the shape of a town. There's not much to tell. What do you want to know? The facade of a legitimate business for Jubani the Fence. Her gang loots and scavenges items all over the Scar. She has a Bandari's knack for selling junk for far more than it's worth. What passes for a tavern in the Stitches. The Averno twins run a money-lending and pawn operation out of it. Don't let them sweet-talk you into any favors. They may seem harmless, but everything has a price with those two, and everyone pays. The sewer beneath Merville Keep. We'll be able to gather there without attracting any unwanted attention, and it'll become clear why once you arrive.
The moons? Ah, my fur! What was in this bucket? Whatever your death wish is, it's granted! Oh, my head. Just tell me what you're doing here before I turn your heart into a tomato. Oh, really? Taznas is still kicking around? A little good news to go around with all this bad. Like a fly in vine. Be careful of the vine, by the way. There's flies in it. I didn't say that. Well, what I mean is that I'd like to, but if Taznasi wants me for my magical skill, I have some bad news. My focus is gone. I mean my other focus. My arcane focus. A bubble to focus magica. I'm useless without it. I may have pawned it to Lulius and Skippy and Averno. I'd give the gold back, but Kazda's really gouging the price of a bottle these days. Even the swill in this flophouse. The Avernos are inside. Get my focus back, and I'll owe you. Ugh. Well, sometimes my power gets a little out of control. The Mages Guild was supposed to help me master it, but they take a dim view of people breaking curfew and getting drunk on kitchen duty. Woo, and throwing up in the soup. When I need to cast a spell, I channel my magicka through the focus. It helps me weave everything together. Without it, my spells come out like tangled yarn, and the results are, well, unpredictable. Lulius and Scipion, they sit in the goitered cups like they own the place. Well, they do technically own it, but that's not the point. Ever since Kazda took over, the twins have doubled everyone's rent and the amount of water in the drinks. Because Kazda gets a nice kickback from all the money they bring in. And for good or ill, well, actually just ill. Kazda's in charge here, so he has the muscle. So the rest of us sit quietly and pay twice as much to get half as drunk. Ugh, well, sometimes my power gets a little out of control.
Only the finest merchandise.
New face in the stitches, then? I love new faces. I can front you a little money in exchange for... well, we can talk terms over wine. To what do my brother and I owe the pleasure? Focus. Looked like a collar to me. Pity it doesn't fit any of our pants. Don't call it such around Serene. Nearly clawed poor Scipion's nose off over it. It's such a good nose, too. Reminds me of Mother. Anyway, price is set. Will you pay it?
I am positively fuming. Julius has our entire wardrobe shipped here from Kvatch, and he still manages to pick out the exact same outfit I'm wearing. As if it weren't clear enough we're twins. But you're not here to listen to a sibling's prattle. That rancid-smelling thing? I can't believe my brother paid mostly honest gold for it. Probably cursed. He should just be rid of it and be done with the whole torrid affair. Speaking of torrid affairs, well, perhaps later.
New face in this... Focus. Well, Scipion called me a fool for taking the cat's little trinket, but here I am turning a tidy profit. I'll make sure he never hears the end of it. The bauble's in a jewelry box on the other side of the bar. Help yourself.
Blah, can't get the taste out of my mouth. It's awful. Good, Kazda's made the stitches unpalatable, like that swill he's got the tavern pouring. I'm ready to get out, but I wouldn't mind batting Kazda's tail along the way. I'm sure Taznasi feels the same. I need a moment or two. Look, I'll meet you at the bowl once the world stops spinning. Look, you seem halfway decent, so don't stick your muzzle too far in, alright? Taznazi's got her own business, and I know too much about it already. I don't drink just because I like the flavor of the tavern's bilge. I'm hazy on the details. To be honest, I'm hazy on a lot of things these days. But I know Taznazi can't show her face in the stitches. And it's not just Kazda that'd like to see her dead. You've seen the type of people who call the stitches home. Thieves, smugglers, deserters. Nobody keen on laws. Of the few rules we have, she broke the one you don't break. Murder. I've said more than I should have already. It's in the past. Taznasi had her reasons. She always has her reasons. Not that I ever got to hear them. She's not going to stab you in the back if that's what's worrying you. Keep your mind on the job. Just a mage looking for something at the bottom of a bottle. I don't really know. And if I'm being honest, I don't know if I ever knew. Look, you seem halfway decent, so don't stick your muzzle too far in, alright? Taznazi's got her own business, and I know too much about it already. I don't drink just because I like the flavor of the tavern's bilge.
These ropes off of me. Joe Bonnie and I had a deal. I delivered.
True. But why keep paying when we can just make you do it for free? Now get inside.
Said Nalitha the Avuncular, even in somber times must the Wayfarer be offered greetings. Nazdar greets you, Wayfarer, though his times are somber indeed. What brings you to this one? Hotaza the Corpulent often said, the forgetting of friends is a grievous wrong. Wise words. Tasnasi has not visited him in some time, but this one has not forgotten her. So believe Nazdar when he regretfully declines her invitation. This one has lost a prized possession, a lute gifted by a dear, departed friend. It has buoyed Nazdar's soul for so long, he sinks without it. Weighed down as such, he cannot be the fleet walker Tasnasi needs him to be. Truly? This one was practicing his lute in the canyon below, but his playing attracted irascible beasts. He was forced to leave it behind as he scrambled up the cliffs. The truth, however, noxious is sweeter than rose blossom, to quote the venerable Bate. Nasdar plays, but not well. The others throw things at him when he practices, so he plays where he can be alone. A saint. He once led the Stitches, not to glory perhaps, but away from shame. Even saints do not live forever, nor did he. But as Ballant the Canonical said, the dead recalled in good memories are the true saints of our lives.
Careful where you flaunt your wealth, Walker. You are a tempting prize indeed.
Rajin did not often visit Helkarn, for there was little gold to be found in a kingdom of shepherds. Besides, they had little kindness for strangers, especially those in this one's line of work.
As Zubacha the Hermit said to Intasi after returning from his grand pilgrimage, "Hello. This one is cheered to see you without the blemishes of harm." As often said by Polu the Overstating, this is worthy of celebration. You have done this one a great turn. In the dark days the Stitches find themselves in, it is good to hold a memory of brighter times. Your kindness reminds Nazdar of the love dashing Dasalzo had for the Stitches in life. This one recalls many joys in the company of Tasnazi and the others. He would like to feel them again. Nazdar will go where Tasnazi bids. A life of decades cannot be reckoned in minutes, so the blind poet has taught us. But Nazdar will do his best. The Stitches was once like it is today, a refuse pit of the spirit, home of vice, self-interest, and the vain depravities of life. Dasalzo came to the gangs of the Stitches and showed them a common foe, Euraxia's armies. We harried them, stole from them, bled them dry, and we formed bonds. To quote Aidino the Aphoric, the greatest gift the indolent can receive is purpose. His death did not rip those bonds apart, but without Dasalzo's care in keeping them tight-knit, they are unraveling nonetheless, and Kazda is pulling at the threads. But some, like Nazdar, keep Dasalzo's memory and his hope. Nazdar knows you see more ribs than muscles on him. This is true, but he once was a brother of the Whispering Claw, so dedicated to that life he was, that he took a vow of silence. You have read the works of Vekla the Ephemeral. Nazdar is glad to know a fellow student. Yes, Nazdar was silent for 19 years, but one night in moonlight, he heard through his cell a song. A simple tune, but captivating. Some peasant tune hummed by a swineherd going home, but a Jarasti moonsinger said, "Beauty is not in the art, but in what it instills." In that moment, Nazdar knew he must sing, so he broke his vow and left the adeptorium to make music. You can make art for others, said Erka of the Bard College, or for yourself. Nazdar knows he is not good enough to make art for others, but dashing Dasalzo always encouraged Nazdar to make art for himself. Nazdar will never forget that.
So, I recently traveled past Two Moon's temple. I hate to say it, but I think the monks there have gone mad.
What makes you say that?
They said they were chasing butterflies, but I couldn't see any. They were chasing nothing. It was bizarre and, well, unsettling to see them behave so.
You saw nothing? Oh, you mentioned butterflies. This one...
What do you want?
Hey, you're not one of Jew Bonnie's thugs. Can you get me out of here? I'm getting out of here. Catch up to me so I can thank you properly.
What?
Thanks for your help back there. Jew Bonnie and her thugs are a bunch of hammers that think everything is a nail. Geniuses included. Altruism isn't a thing in the Stitches. So what do you want? Need a lock picked? Something repaired? Tarsney, huh? That's funny. Was just thinking about her recently, seeing what's gone on around this dump. How it's gotten, dumpier than usual. But she's pulling together a job. Swore that Kazda ran her out of town when he took over. Last time I ran my mouth, Jew Bonnie sent her unexpectedly handsome thugs after me. I'm not spilling any more secrets. But it's nice to know Tosnessy's still around. She really loves this place after all. Even after everything that's happened to her. Well, Jew Bonnie's sure to notice I'm missing. Joining up with a crew seems like a good way to keep my fingers unbroken. So sure, whatever Tosnessy's playing at, I'm in. The bowel. Well, that's ironic. I'll head there after I get more tools and find another pair of small clothes. That Kazda ran her out of town? Or tried to, I guess. It's not any secret. He may be a rancid pile of cat vomit, but this is his town now. He does what he wants. Bad blood. Truth told, Tosnessy would have been charged after dashing to Salzo died, if things hadn't gone down the way they did. It's not... Jew Bonnie runs the biggest salvage operation in the Stitches, and she knows she gets paid more if the salvage is in pure junk. When a crew found stuff that wasn't busted up, I fixed it. For pay. 'Cause that happened. He took over the Stitches and didn't care if people broke oaths, contracts, or ribs. Jew Bonnie saw a chance to get more labour for free. Just had to flex a little muscle. Yeah, don't let my rippling physique fool you. I'm, not much in a fight. That Kazda ran her out of town? Or tried to, I guess. It's not any secret. He may be a rancid pile of cat vomit, but this is his town now. He does what he wants. Bad blood. Truth told, Tosnessy would have been charged after dashing to Salzo died, if things hadn't gone down the way they did. It's not my place to say anything more than that. Well, most don't. And to be fair, I wasn't always the brilliant tinkerer I am today. I don't know what caused the change, honestly. I think eating that soul gem had something to do with it. I didn't just pluck one up and eat it. I was scouting for the Dominion way north. Some ruin called Sardathal. Was running from some guards when I fell into a shaft. And fell. And fell. It was a long fall. Caught a ledge at the last minute. Broke my fall. And my fingers. Real mess. Anyway, I found myself in this strange cavern. Huge. Had dwarven ruins. Biggest I've ever seen inside of it. More stone and metal than I could imagine. Not so much food.
hope you brought your purse. You don't want to know how Giovanni deals with browsers.
That's everyone. Tasnazi must speak with you. Tasnazi has not seen her old crew in some time. Not since... Never mind. You were not followed, yes? Tasnazi is not welcome in the Stitches. Associates of Tasnazi, also not welcome. Kazda was lieutenant to Dashing the Salzo. Tasnazi as well, until he was found with her knife in his back. No one cared if she was innocent. They wanted someone to blame, and Kazda gave them an answer. After everything, they turned their backs on her. No, it's just a heist, that's all. Tasnazi knows how it looks. Get revenge, clear her name, but she hates the sight of this place and will leave it for good just as soon as her pockets are a little heavier. Now, let's go over the plan. Today, we hit Kazda right under his nose. We'll break into the basement of the Mirville Keep through this sewer, so long as Vol can pick the locks.
Ah, locks. Cute. Might as well be fancifully knotted ribbons to me.
Good. At the courtyard, we'll have sentries, but Serene's teleportation spell should let us pass unnoticed.
Were you talking to me?
We'll enter the palace through a second-floor storage room. Nazdar will scale the wall and drop a rope for us.
As spake Urwa the Observant. I see.
Tasnazi and the newcomer will handle any trouble that comes our way. Let's get started. Nice to see you back at work, Vol.
Good to be working. You're less of a taskmaster than Giovanni. Now, let's find some more locks.
Good luck, and work quickly.
There's the lock. Watch my back, won't you? Let's get going. Might need an ebony pick for this one. You know the drill. Bit stiff, that one. Glad I'll keep machine grease in my hair. Kazda's done some redecorating, I see. Not sure I like it. Keep the coast clear, would you? There. Hopefully that's the last of them. My fingers are getting sore. Hey, that's our way to the courtyard.
They're through. No lagging behind.
Keep up!
Serin, it's your turn.
Everyone stand still. You're making me crazy. Just need to concentrate. Focus the power. Imagine the destination. All right, here we go.
What the...
So far, so good. Now roll.
You're sure?
To quote the barkeep, you look sick. This one prefers his feet.
Thought I lost you. Boons, you're not hurt, are you? All your limbs in place? And Nazdar's looking pretty good, actually. Now the not good. You and Nazdar didn't quite make it to where I intended, and it will be a while before I can cast something like that again. You'll have to make your own way here. There is a basic rule of spellcraft. Do not attempt while drunk, or while recently drunk. never been great with rules. I ended up losing control of the spell while attempting to teleport you and Nazdar. Sorry about that. Taznasi wants you and Nazdar to make your way to the base of the South Tower. That's where we're waiting. She also was very insistent. Avoid killing any of the guards. Northwest? East-ish? You'll have to come through the courtyard, which means avoiding patrols. Don't get caught. Taznasi is going to be pretty upset if you kill anyone. She says it will raise alarms, but I know the truth. It's because Taznasi used to run with them. They were all part of Dashing Dasalso's crew back in the day. She tries to act like she doesn't care about them after they exiled her, but it's a lie. Northwest? East-ish? You'll have to come through the courtyard.
Walk softly, Master Hendo taught me. If we get into trouble, be warned. I cannot help. My fists are weapons no longer. Soft as a whisper, quick as a shout. The first finger of the Whispering Claw teaches. As the second finger of the Whispering Claw says, shadows consume curiosity, time, and interest. Heed the third finger of the Whispering Claw. Distance is greater than any weapon. The fourth finger of the Whispering Claw states, command the space to move through it unseen. The final finger of the Whispering Claw states, the claw that passes as a whisper is the mark of the Master.
You made it, both of you. Taznazi is glad.
Sorry about that. When this is all done, I'll buy you a drink.
Moon's mercy, Serene. When we're done here, I will smash every bottle of wine in ELSWEYR.
Not if I drink them first.
Nazdar, you're our way into this tower. Ready?
The ascent of the body is nothing compared to that of the soul. Saint Yosito spoke wisely.
Your knees shouldn't make that noise, right?
They should make no noise, Vol.
Nazdar did well to get us inside, but it looks like this strain was more than he could handle. He needs rest. Which means Taznazi needs to change her plans. Vol is the closest thing we have to a healer. He might be able to get Nazdar moving again, but he needs time, which means he won't be able to pick the locks on Kazda's vaults. Taznazi wants you and Serene to get the vault keys. This one has other business in the palace. When she's done with it, she will meet you at the entrance to the vault, on the lower floors. Take care getting the keys. The thugs in this palace are Kazda's most loyal, and just as vicious and cruel as he. Expect no mercy, and give none. Serene will help keep things quiet in case fighting breaks out. Yes, Taznazi has gotten used to being on her own. ever since the Salzo died. She knows this place like the back of her paw. She'll be fine. Nazdar has to stay behind. He's in no condition to creep through the palace right now. Hopefully Vol can get him back on his feet in time for an expedient departure. As long as they stay back in this old storeroom, they should be fine. That was different. Many of the keep's guards were close to the Salzo. They follow Kazda only because they must. The lapdogs in this palace are loyal to Kazda alone. The ones who are closest to Kazda do not show loyalty because they are virtuous, but because he allows them to indulge their worst impulses. I am not telling you to punish them, only that they won't be missed by anyone in the Stitches.